pasuk here. We spoke about this already other times as well. There's a pasuk which the whole pasuk, the Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh, says is extra. The Torah tells us on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the third month from Yetzias Mitzrayim, Vayoyim Hazeh, this day, Rosh Chodesh Sivan. What's Vayoyim Hazeh? Sheyeh divrei Torah chadoshim alecha kilu hayoyim nitnu. Torah should be as if new. Then the next pasuk says, Vayisu mirefidim. They went away from Refidim and they came to Midbar Sinai. We already said they came to Midbar Sinai. We know that they were in Refidim. You can look before. You can see in the last week's parsha where they were. Vayachenu ba'midbar. Yes, it says Bo Midbar Sinai. Obviously, they were resting in the Midbar. Vayichan Shom Yisrael neged Har. They rested against the Har. The whole pasuk is extra. The Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh tells us that this verse is telling us how a person has to relate to the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. They came to Har Sinai to receive the Torah, so it's telling us what are the conditions necessary for the study of Torah. And the first battle that a person is confronted with, or maybe he doesn't even realize it, the most difficulty in the study of Torah is to begin studying. You know, there's 48 ways that the Torah is achieved. You can have 47 of them, but you'll never know anything. If you don't have the first. You know what the first one is? If you look in the Mizrach HaZavos, the Talmud, you gotta learn. You can have all the skulot, all the midas tables and everything. But if you don't learn, that's it. Forget it. You know, like the guy who goes to the Kaisel every time and praise, Rebbeinu Shalom, make me win a raffle ticket. So somebody, after 20, 50 years, you know, they say, somebody says, to the Kaisel, Rebbeinu Shalom, he's asking so much. Yes, but he never bought one. He comes out of the So you know what I mean? Yes, Hashem, send me tchelik with Teresecha and help me be successful. But you gotta sit and learn. You gotta learn. So, and the Yetzer Hara is very, very strong in that not learning. The name of this trait is called laziness. Person naturally likes the comfort of his home. It's hard to pick himself up and come to Beis Medrash, to interact with people, to be in the yeshiva. Laziness has made many people lose everything, every single thing. They're looking for one's comfort. So the first milchama, the first battle to achieve anything in Torah is to fight with the desire to be comfortable. To be ready to just understand that Adam la'amu yula, the person was put in this world to toil. And that's written in these words. By Yisu, what was the first preparation of Am Yisrael in order to receive the Torah? By Yisu, they moved. The word Nesiya means to travel. But you know, like there's a geographical relocation. The much more difficult is a spiritual relocation. A person can stay in the same place. And it could be that he's moving miles, and he can travel miles and he hasn't moved even a centimeter. Because the real moving is what's happening inside. So when the Torah says over here, Yisu Mirifidim, it means to move away from the trait of Rifyon. Rafu Yedeim, Rifidim, Chazal Dashin, Rafu Yedeim, the Torah, the hands were weak. Weakness, where a person feels that he's not capable, incapacity. He can't be, he needs this, he has to have this. That person talks him into all the things that he's used to. He just, without it, he can't live without it. Vayisum refidim is to move away. The word rifyan is laziness, in different words. We're looking for one's compass. They traveled away from rifyon, those things that weaken the person to achieve wisdom. And it's all relative. It has to begin. How do they say a trip of 1,000 miles begins with 1 foot. The first with 1 step. The first step of any achievement of wisdom is to move away even a centimeter from one's comforts and to be able to look for to accept upon oneself hardship and to fight with the Yetzer Hara. That's the first step for the study of Torah. And we find constantly, that's why Chazal use for the mitzvah of the study of Torah, they call it Eisek HaTorah, like the bracha. Asher kedeshanu b'mitzvaysav etzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. La'asok is to be busy, to be toiling, to put in effort, energy. That's an asik. And then we have the lashon of the pasuk. Oire chayim mimino mismaila oisha v'chavoid. To those that act with the Torah with their right hand, they will be zeicha to infinite life to Olam Haba. They'll be zeicha to enormous tovot, enormous gifts in the world to come. Ulamasmilim bo. Those that act with the Torah with their left hand, they will also get oisha v'chavod, riches in this world, riches and honor in this world. So Rashi says, what is the meaning? So Gemara says, what's my meaning bo? What does it mean to relate to the study of Torah with one's right hand? So Rashi says, a right, usually most people are right-handed, that's where they have their energy. If he puts in all his energy into the Torah, that's called, he studies it with the right hand. He puts in all his energy to understand the Torah. Rashi adds another point, Trudimbo, he's bothered by it. He goes to sleep and he thinks about what did he learn today. Trudimbo. He's torud, ladas soida. He wants to know the secrets of the Torah. It bothers him. What is the truth of the answer to this question? What is these words which I didn't understand? What are they saying? What is Tosfos' kasha? What is the answer of Tosfos? Trudim bo ladas soida. That's called ba'aminim bo. Masmilim bo. They act with the Torah of the left hand. They also learn Torah, but they don't put in the full energy. That's called a left-handed Torah. They'll also be rewarded. But the way to learn Torah is la'maminim, but to put in the whole effort. That's vayisu, and that's the meaning of vayisu merafidim. The first hachona for Torah is to fight. And this Chazal recommended another Chazal. So let's put together here, we'll put the Torah teaching us this message. And Chazal, we have 4 sources for this message. Let's see. The next message, the next place is, V'zois ha-Torah odom ki yomus ba'oiham. Ein divrei Torah miskaimim. Torah cannot be achieved. Ela b'mi odom ki yomus va'oiham. It's Chazal Darshan. The man when he dies in the tent. What's the tent? The tent represents the tent of Torah. Matoivu aylecha Yaakov. Odom ki yomus va'oiham. If he's ready to die in the tent of the Torah, we'll explain what that means. Then he will give Zois ha-Torah. He will achieve Torah. Ein divrei Torah miskaimim. Torah cannot be achieved only by those who are ready to die in the tent of the Torah. What does it mean to die in the tent of the Torah? The wish of the will of a person, that's his chayim. The main will of all will is to live. When a person fights with his will and he does something against his ratzon, that's called meinis atzmai. That's called he's making meinis atzmai. Malik talakula, malik talapal. He kills a part of himself, it's like kills himself. Any fighting, any giving up of something that he wants, and he gives it up for Torah because he wants to achieve Torah, that's called that he was meinis atzmai. That's called meinis atzmai because it's the most difficult thing for a person to let go of something that he wants, or anything to give up anything of comfort. That's called meinis atzmai, and that's a t'nai, that's a condition for achieving Torah. Chazal, there's another pasuk someplace. Chazal, v'lo timtza be'eretz hachayim. You won't find the Torah in the land of the living. And Eretz HaChaim means that which are looking to be mechayah themselves, to enjoy themselves, to feel good. That's like Tiftzah be'Eretz HaChaim. So we have like this. The Zois ha-Torah Adam ki yomus va'ayil. The Torah is called Esek ha-Torah. Vayisu merafidim. You have to move away from Rifron Yadayim. Talmud. This is the main thing. All right. Let's go on. The next condition, but it's not enough. That's not enough. Continues the pasuk and it says, "Vayachanu ba'midbar, vayachanu ba'midbar, yevoyu midbar Sinai, vayachanu ba'midbar." Midbar represents when they came and they saw the mountain that HaKadosh Baruch Hu chose to give the Torah on. So there was an enormous message here. One would have thought if Hashem wants to bring the Torah, which is the purpose to the world, it has to be given on Mount Everest, the highest mountain. This is the highest thing. And here they come and they see this little low mountain, this little hilltop. This is the mountaintop that Hashem chooses to give the Torah. And on this it says in Maseches Avos, Moshe Kibel Torah Misinai. So the Mefarshim explain, there's a parallel. Moshe was the shaliach. He was the one chosen to be the messenger to bring the Torah to Am Yisrael, because he had something in his own nature which was parallel to Sinai. Moshe and Sinai are an equation. They both fit each other. What Sinai, because it was from the lowest mountains, it means it's a message to a person that a person has to have humility, that he has to have the midah, which is called shifut, to be low, not to be high. By Yichan, the Torah is to elevate a person. It's giving on a mountain. It's a mountain, but a low mountain. A mountain that knows to have humility. And that's the Remez b'midbar. Like a midbar's hefka, there's another pasuk, mi midbar matana. So the person that he makes himself like a midbar, he makes himself available for everybody to teach Torah. He makes himself available he doesn't have boundaries. He's ready to be available wherever one needs to learn Torah. He's ready to give Torah. He's ready to teach Torah to all. He doesn't have a difference. He'll talk to this one, talk to that one, to talk to everyone. He has humility. Like a midbar is hefka where everybody can walk in there. This being midbar, if a person makes himself like a midbar matana, the Torah is given to him b'matana. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives the Torah to the one who has shiftless. Ish Moshe, why was Moshe chosen to be the messenger to give the Torah to Klal Yisrael? Because the Torah testifies that Moshe was in the midah, in this midah of humility, of understanding that it's not his, that everything is a gift from Hashem, and whatever one has is not one's own. So therefore there's no place for the pride. There's no place for the person to feel that he's special. It's not his. It's only given to him as a kli, as a vessel to do his responsibility. If a person gets something borrowed to him, somebody lends him something and it's not his, he's not going around parading with something which is not his. He knows he has to give it back, it's not his. And so whatever person has is not his. And what the Torah testifies, V'ish Moshe onov ma'oid mikol adam asher pnei adama. Moshe was the greatest, the humblest person. That's why he was chosen for the Torah. So the second condition is humility, and perhaps this gives birth to the third condition of the Torah. Vayichan shom Yisrael neged ahar. A Torah cannot, anything in Torah, because it's so difficult, the way we learn Torah today, b'chavrusa, this was the way to learn Torah in a chabura, in a group. Ein divrei Torah niknis ela b'chabura. Torah can only be achieved when there's chachamim that speak to each other. So one of the conditions for Torah is to be unified. So that's what Rashi brings down. Vayichan shom, it's written not in plural form, it's written in singular form. Vayichan shom Yisrael neged ahar. It's written, as Rashi says, why is it written in Lashon Yochid, singular form? K'ish echad b'leiv echad, that they were unified. They were unified. In other words, Torah needs achdus, it needs unity between the chachamim. If a person doesn't go and has a question, he doesn't go and ask the question to somebody else. He doesn't discuss. If he doesn't learn in a group and try together to understand Torah, he can't achieve Torah. If this needs a certain unity between others, if he can't learn with a chavrusa that immediately gets into an argument and that's it, and the chavrusa is over, he can't achieve Torah. Torah needs to be learned with others. One can't learn it oneself. So here the Torah told us in the opinion of the Orach Chaim, he says the Torah was telling us that these were the hachanas, these are the preparations, and this is for all generations. These are the three preparations necessary for Torah. One doesn't learn Torah as an individual. This is rumors in the pasuk. Torah tziva lanu Moshe meirosha kehilas Yankiv. Torah, Moshe commanded us the Torah meirosha kehilas Yankiv. It's given to Am Yisrael as a unit. It's not given to an individual. Meirosha, it's the estate of Klal Yisrael. As to the point that a person makes himself a part, he sees himself as a part of the Klal, so the Torah is available. That he doesn't see himself as an individual separated from the Klal. He sees himself as being a limb, as part of Klal Yisrael. He's part of the Kahal. And that's Vayichan Shom Yisrael as one unit, neged ahar. So Vayisu miyifidim, to fight with laziness. Vayovayu mivayachnu b'midbar, to have humility. And the third preparation is Achdus, Midas Taivus. By the way, there's a medrash like this, that we have a pasuk, Hashem ois la'amo yitain, Hashem yivareches amoy v'sholem. So the medrash says that the Umas Ha'olam went to Bilam, they heard Kailas who broke him, they thought he's bringing another flood. So he said, no, don't worry, it's not the Kailas that broke him, all this noise that you hear, it's Am Yisrael receiving the Torah. So they immediately said, the Umas Ha'olam, the nations all said, Hashem ois la'amo yitain, Hashem is giving the Torah, ois is Torah. Hashem is giving the Torah to Am Yisrael. Hashem yivareches amoy v'sholem. Hashem should bless the Am Yisrael with peace. So Rabbi Yisrael Salanta says, it's brought down in the back of Ar Yisrael, said pshat like this. He says when they heard all the noises and everything, they understood they were warnings of the Einshin, the enormous Einshin if you don't keep the Torah. The Umas Ha'olam were afraid of the Einshin. He said, Am Yisrael's accepting the Torah, they better have shalom between them. Why they better have shalom between them? Because for every Aveira there's enormous punishments. But it says, even if you have Oiv de Aveira Zorah, you have people which are idol worshippers, but if it's Shalom B'neihem, they have peace between them, the Satan can't punish them. The Shalom protects them. It says, Hashem Oiz La'amo Yitain, there's so many mitzvahs and so many Aveiras, and who knows what kind of punishments they'll get. So let the Hashem should bless them with Shalom. At least if they have Shalom, even if they won't have the 100% of the Torah, this will be a protection. But we are in a mess because we don't have not this and not that. We're in a real mess. Hashem Yevoreches Amoy Vasholem. Sholem is it's not the pshat that the things aren't forgotten. Nothing is forgotten, Shemayim. But Sholem is a protection. Achdus is a protection. Well, that's one point. Now we have a pasuk referring to the receiving of the Torah. There might be a parallel between these things. In Tilim, there's a pasuk like this. It says about Moshe Rabbeinu, Alisa la'mo'oin shavisa shevi lakachta matonas ba'adam. The Torah is referred to in three different types of transactions. It says Moshe Rabbeinu went up to the heaven, he captured the Torah. Alisa la'mo'oin shavisa shevi. He captured it. Lakachta, he took the gifts of Hashem. So there's a contradiction here. These are three different types of transactions. The Beis Halevi explains this very beautifully. Is it Torah something captured? Something you capture, you take by force. That's all from the point of the taker. If there's nobody giving it, it's captured. You capture, in a battle, you capture something, it wasn't given, you took it. You took it by force. Like the word lekachat, to take, we don't use in connection with gifts. A matana is something totally given. In a certain sense, if we want a gift is totally the opposite of something captured. And then the pasuk says, Moshe Rabbeinu went up to heaven, Shavisa Shavi, he captured the Torah, and he took these gifts. It's all contradictory. Capturing you don't take, and lakachas matanas, a gift you certainly don't take. A gift is given. So what does it mean? Lakachta matanas, you took these gifts. So the Slave says there's three different levels of Torah. It's speaking about the order. When a person begins learning Torah, the first Hashem gave the Torah in such a way that there are no conditions to understand Torah. Like we spoke before, there's only one condition, and that's to put in the effort. The Gemara says in Megillah, Davav, if somebody says and comes along and he says, Yogati v'loi motzasi, I put in effort to understand and I didn't understand anything. Don't believe him. He's bluffing himself or bluffing you. He didn't put in effort. He comes and says, I'm such a genius. Matzasi, I understand the Torah. I just read it. I understand it. I don't have to put in any effort. Matzasi v'loyagati, I didn't put in any effort. I got the point right on the spot. Al tamin lo, don't believe him. There's no such thing. Torah has to come with yigiyah. Without effort, Torah can't be achieved. Matzasi v'yogati, time. He says, I put yogati matzasi, I put in effort and I achieved. Then believe him. But, in other words, so what does it say here? That any Anybody that will put an effort, even if he doesn't have mitzvahs and ma'asim tovim, even if he doesn't have midas tovos, he doesn't have the proper characteristic traits. There's a haftocha, there's a promise in Torah that anybody that puts an effort relative to his effort will achieve. That's another Torah was given to Klal Yisrael. That is called Alisa Lamorim Shavisa Shevi. There's an aspect in Torah that Torah can be captured. Anybody can capture the Torah, but that's just to understand the Pupula Shel Torah. But when you learn Torah, you have to come to the purpose of the study of Torah is to come to the proper conclusion. You have to come to a conclusion because the Torah is also Dvar Hashem, Zu Halacha. What's the conclusion? La Halacha L'Maisa. How do you have to behave? The study of Torah is the final conclusion, is the Ritzayin Hashem. That needs already, or to remember Torah, to know Torah. There are things in Torah which need Siyata D'Shmaya. The same Gemara continues. To know the Torah, not to forget the Torah, the Ukmi Girsa needs Siyata D'Shmaya, needs the help of heaven. That one is not muftach. A person could try to put in all the effort and still forget the Torah. Remembering Torah and having knowledge of the Torah when arriving at the right conclusion, these are all things in Torah that need siyata d'shmaya. And that's depending upon the Yirah Shamayim, the mitzvahs, the ma'asim tovim, the midas. That's already a totally different thing. That there is somebody who is yogea and he doesn't succeed. So that is compared to a lekicha, a mekach, a sale. A sale, you need to give the right payment, and then you need that the meicher, the seller, agrees to sell you the merchandise. So it's like a shituf. There's a partnership in such a sale. There's a partnership between the two. So there's an aspect in Torah which is called lekicha. So first the person begins, so this is what Alisa, the first step of Torah is Alisa Amorim Shavisa Shevi. Person has to relate to Torah like it's an object that he goes to capture it. And if you continue, then you'll get Siyata D'Shmaya as well, because the Torah brings Kedusha to a person. And he'll get Siyata D'Shmaya, and then he'll come to an aspect of the Kicha, where it's a mutual deal. But then there's another part of Torah, which a person can't achieve whatsoever, doesn't depend bichlal, nothing on his efforts. Because the Torah has many, many secrets to Torah. And that's the HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives those, it reveals the secrets of the Torah to that person that's Motzei Chaim Be'einav. That's not the secrets of the Torah. Hashem reveals, the person can't get them himself bichlal. That's matanos. That's a b'china of matana. But there's a seder in Torah. The order of Torah begins with Shavisa Shevi. First it's capturing. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu has more schiyot and mitzvahs. Then it's a lekicha, it's a taking. And then matanos, HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveals it to matana. It says the Beis HaLevi that these three aspects of Torah are hinted in the Gemara, says in Talmud Yerushalmi, that when Moshe received the Torah, so the luchas were 6 by 6 tvachim. And 2 tvachim, Moshe Rabbeinu was holding on to the luchas together with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So says the Agor. And 2 tvachim were in the hands of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And 2 tvachim, an am, because the luchas were amal aman, 6 tvachim. 2 tvachim were in the hands of Hashem. 2 tvachim, 2 measures, 2 fists were in the hands of Moshe. And 2 fists were in the middle between the two of them. So it says this represents these 3 aspects of Torah. There's an aspect of Torah which is totally given. If you learn Shnai Noichs and Betalis, you learn, so the Gemara says when 2 pick up a talis together, if it's a mitzvah, if it's a found object which you have an acquisition in, so they're fighting who picked it up first, each one gets what he's holding in his hand, that's by him. And the part in the middle is you divide half and half. So there's an aspect of Torah which Moshe got in his hands. In other words, that's non-conditional given. Doesn't depend on any schuyot. That's Shavisa Shavi. Tivchayim, 2 tvachim were in the hands of Moshe. That means that 2 tvachim, these were totally given. This was given to Am Yisrael on a condition, one condition. The condition is by Yisu B'Refidim. You put in effort, your muftach, your promise to get. That's no matter what. That's Tivchayim B'Yad Moshe. Then there's another Madrega of Torah, which is conditional. Hashem, it's a partnership. That's the Tivchayim B'Emtza. To know the Torah, to achieve knowledge, not to forget, to achieve the right conclusion, that's Siyata D'Shmaya, that's two Tvachim in the middle. And there's two Tvachim, those are the secrets of the Torah. They remained in the hand of Hashem. That's who's Moitzei Chain, whoever finds favor in the eyes of Hashem, he will reveal him secrets of the Torah. That's the Tivchayim B'Yad Hashem, that's the B'china, that's the aspect of Matana. And Keneged these Madregas, so we have a pasuk we say in davening. Magid Dvorov LiYaakov. We know that Am Yisrael Chukav Mishpatav Yisrael. In Am Yisrael there are two Madregas, there are two levels. The Hamoim Am is not the most of the people which are not on any special level, they're called Yaakov. The people which have a level of Kedusha and closeness to Hashem, they're called Yisrael. Magid Dvorov LiYaakov. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave all his Torah to all Yaakov, anybody in Am Yisrael, even the lowest Madrega. Mitzmuftach, Yogato, Motzosa, whoever, that's Alisa La Morim Shavisa Shevi. Anybody can achieve knowledge in Torah. If he'll just put in the Yagir, he will get knowledge in Torah. It doesn't depend on mitzvahs and ma'asim tovim, Yerushalayim, just Yagir. Shavisa Shevi, Magid Dvorov Yaakov, to all of Yaakov. Like Hashem promised that with Yagir they'll achieve Torah. Chukav Mishpatov, to know the Chukim, the actual law, the Mishpatim, Yisrael. That you have to be a Madrega of Yerushalayim, that you have to be this Tavis, Chukav Mishpatav Yisrael. But, and you think, but so, and what about a guy? A guy too, and as long as he puts in the Yagir, like Asachein L'chol Guy, Mishpatim Bal Yidum. A guy, even if he put in the Yagir, it's not muftach that will achieve knowledge of the Torah. But Asachein L'chol Guy, this is even the Pechina, even this aspect of Shevi, that the Torah is captured, this is only a special gift to Klal Yisrael. To Klal Yisrael, that's the Tivchayim B'Yad Moshe. That Moshe received the Torah for Klal Yisrael, not for Messiah. But a Yid, his nefesh is be'etzim in essence shaykh to the Torah, and we receive the Torah. So any Jew that will put in an effort to understand, if he says I put in the effort that I didn't understand, al tamim, don't believe him. It's not true. He didn't put in the proper effort. But the Seder is first it begins Magid Dvorov Yaakov, and then Chukav Mishpat Yisrael, because as a person learns the Torah is mekadosh him, it sanctifies him, and it brings him up a madrega to understand the Torah and to go further and further till he gets to the matanas. It's a partnership, and then we get to a madrega that Hashem reveals us from his tvach, which is in his hands. He's Megala. He reveals according to the effort that that person puts in and grows in Yerushalayim from the secrets of the Torah.
Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land. Tell